if you want to make comics, it's a good idea to get good at drawing backgrounds, and that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video today, because being able to draw backgrounds will help you tell more interesting stories. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to draw natural scenes using the basic rules of perspective from your imagination. So whether you're drawing a forest or a city, you need to have a good understanding of perspective. And if you want to add characters to your backgrounds, you definitely need to understand perspective. So that's why before I even started drawing the background, I created some perspective guides to help me understand how to draw inside each panel. So what I'm doing on this page is I am drawing the same scene in 3 different panels, and I'm using 3 different perspectives for each scene to make some type of cohesive story. And you can do this as well. It makes it a lot more fun to study drawing natural backgrounds and inking them. But the first background I drew was in a 1-point perspective. The second is in a 2-point perspective. And the last one is in a 3-point perspective. When drawing in the 1-point perspective, you just have 1 vanishing point. 2, you have 2 vanishing points. 3, you have 3 vanishing points. And the purpose of me actually drawing the same background but in different perspectives is to get more dynamic scenes, and you can also get more dramatic and dynamic scenes by moving your horizon line up or down, lower or higher. If your horizon line is at a higher level, you'll be looking at the scene from a bird's eye view. But if your horizon line is at a lower level, you're looking at the scene from a worm's eye view. And so that's what I wanted to practice in these scenes as well. I not only wanted to practice 1-point perspective, 2 and 3-point perspective, I also wanted to play around with the horizon line. And that's what you should do as well to make your scenes look more dynamic, because if your horizon line is just at the standard height level, it can be not boring, but it can be not as interesting. And so what you want to do is play around with moving the horizon line from a lower viewpoint and a higher viewpoint. And so of course, while you're drawing, you also want to think about foreground, middle ground, and background. If you understand foreground, middle ground, and background, you can create any natural environment with ease, because as you can see in the recording, I had reference when I was sketching, and I just gathered some reference of forests and trees and things like that to use as inspiration for the drawings. And what I like to do is I like to take notice of where elements in the picture are framed and where the elements of foreground, middle ground, and background are in those reference images. When I was drawing this and trying to figure out what I wanted to create from my imagination, from the reference I had, I was like, I saw the picture of the tree just sitting in the clearing in the forest, and I was like, that's cool. I want to create something like that, and really explore what that would look like with my characters and in my own world. And so to make it interesting, that's what I chose. But what's fun about drawing natural environments is that you can just play around, and because everything is natural, it doesn't have to look super realistic like you're drawing a building or anything. So I think it's really fun to draw natural landscapes and backgrounds from your imagination. Just because it doesn't exist, you are literally creating your own little world in the scene. And so just by using the reference, you can pretty easily get something like that. But what you want to pay attention to, like I said, is the foreground, middle ground, and the background. You want to have elements in the picture that are in the foreground that lead the viewer's eyes to the focal point, and you want to make sure all the elements lead the viewer's eyes to the focal point, and that's what my character is for. My character is the focal point in the scene, and so I want to make sure all the leaves and the trees and the rocks and the little fencing I had in the scene, I want to make sure they all point back to the character and make the scene look as interesting as possible, because you can create a background just with fields of grass, but what story are you telling? That's what you want to think about. Like, what's the story of the scene that you're drawing? Why are you drawing it? Who is there? What's happening? And what's fun about this is that I just pretty much made this all up. I knew I had this character in my head Eris. His name is Eris, and I know I want him to, I want to explore more with this character in the world he lives in. So I was like, I might as well, instead of just drawing backgrounds, I might as well make this look interesting and create some type of story with it. And so that's what I did. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope this helped you understand how to draw some natural landscapes a little bit better, and I hope that you can apply what I was talking about to your own work. And I want to know, like, how do you apply and approach drawing natural backgrounds from your own imagination? Let me know in the comments. And also, what is the hardest part about drawing these backgrounds and landscapes? Yo, thanks for watching. If you would like to support me and my art and my channel, I sell art prints on Imprint, and they're all about character illustrations and in an anime style. So yeah, thanks and peace out.